Yeah, I am. And I really do care. I want you to know that. It really does matter if you're having a good day. Let's see. We got football coming up this upcoming Sunday. Got the weekend right around the corner. Tomorrow's Friday. Do you look forward to the weekends, guys? Is that like something you're like, okay, it's time to take the struggle and it's time to kind of put the struggle to rest? You know? Do we look forward to that, or do we look forward to Mondays? I kind of wonder about. I wonder if people are more successful who look forward to Mondays than people who look forward to Fridays or look forward to Saturdays. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it really matters, but I don't know if we're showing up to work on a Monday unencumbered and all enthusiastic about stuff. I got to think that that's worth something, isn't it? And what is the line between somebody who's successful and somebody who's not successful? I think that line is probably pretty small. It's the quintessential batting average analogy. You get 3 out of 10 hits, you're going to the Hall of Fame. You get 2 out of 10 hits, you're getting bumped back down to Double A baseball. I think it's probably the same thing when it comes to marketing. But it's kind of funny. I just finally got around to my New Year's resolutions. Trying to get in a little bit better shape. As you get older, metabolism slows down, gut gets bigger faster. And it's one of these things after a couple, it's the hardest thing to do is doing it for the first time if you haven't done it for a while. Just anything, it really is. It's, I got up this morning at 5:45 in the morning to start trying to sweat myself back to, something that resembles not a slob. And, it's tough. The first day's tough. But then the second day's easier, the third day's easier, the fourth day's easier. Same thing like with work, isn't it? Like our marketing, the things that we should be doing first, we end up doing last oftentimes. And then we do them last because they're the things that we want to do the least, but they oftentimes are the things that we probably should do the most. I've always said like cold calling. And as I said yesterday, if you're buying leads, you're essentially cold calling somebody, aren't you? If you're buying a lead, that means you're going to call somebody who you believe is looking to buy what you're selling, but they have no idea who you are because you bought their information. So when you call them, you essentially have to let them get to know, like, and trust you through the whole process, or you're going to fail miserably on that call. And so what we do is we basically decide that the struggle is not worth it, so we just don't make the calls at all. It's so trippy because Listing Booster is a product that I have ownership in, and so I've followed Listing Booster for years, and with all the loan officers and real estate agents who would participate. And we got to the point where we had some people who were really great at generating the leads, but were really bad at like converting the leads or calling the leads. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people who kind of occupy that space of lead generation and selling leads and selling opportunities, we all draw the same conclusions. We can generate the leads, but now it's up to you. It's incumbent upon you to go ahead and call the leads. A lot of people don't do it. It's what we put to the end of the day, and oftentimes that gets kicked over to the next day, to the end of the day, when really it needs to be the first thing that you do. In fact, if you speak with any successful loan officer or real estate agent, they'll tell you that their primary job is prospecting. It really is. And prospecting is the tough part. Prospecting is going out and making those calls. I mean, putting yourself on a dialer. It's difficult, but you gotta understand the struggle is where it all lies. There's a great book I'm reading right now, and they're talking about the struggle. They said, if I ask you, what do you want out of life? And you say something like, I want to be happy and have a great family and a job that I like. Your response is so common and expected that it doesn't really mean anything. I think about that for a minute. What do you want out of life? I want to be happy. I want a good job. I want this. It's a boring answer. It doesn't mean anything. It's shallow. Because are we going to actually do anything about it? He said, the more interesting question, a question that most people never consider is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? He goes on to say that we are really defined by our struggles. And I kind of agree with that. Think about this for a second. We're defined by our struggles. Because happiness listen to this, because happiness requires struggles. It grows from problems. Okay? Joy doesn't just sprout out of the ground like daisies and rainbows. Real serious lifelong fulfillment and meaning have to be earned through choosing and managing our struggles. What determines your success isn't what you want to enjoy. The relevant question is, what pain do you want to sustain? The more interesting question is the pain. What is the pain that you want to sustain? That's the hard question that matters, the question that will actually get you somewhere. It's the question that can change your perspective on life. It's what makes me, and you. It's what defines us. It's what separates us, and ultimately, it's what brings us together. You think about that. If it's what struggle in life are you willing to live with? And what we do is how do you get rid of one problem? Is you simply replace it with another problem. Everybody has struggles. That's kind of what defines life. If you think about problems and struggles, this is really what kind of leads to any type of evolution, both personally and professionally, socially, collectively. It's what it really comes down to. And how you get rid of one problem is you simply replace it with another one. He has a great quote in here, and then I'll get on with what we're talking about. He said, listen, because when we talk about struggles and problems, he goes, Warren Buffett has money problems. A homeless drunk has money problems. The difference is Warren Buffett has better money problems than the homeless drunk. Nevertheless, they both have problems. The idea is not to get rid of the problems or the struggles in your life. It's to replace them with struggles that you can live with, struggles that maybe aren't as dire. That's kind of the idea behind it. And I think it's great because when we talk about what we need to do in order to succeed, that we just have to accept the struggle. We have to engage. We have to embrace the struggle. And I think there's something to that. So why do I bring that up today? Well, for a number of different reasons. The first one is an article just came out in Inman that said more agents are fighting for fewer homes. And then what they say is, here's how to rise to the top. I thought to myself, boy, that's a pretty interesting thing to say, isn't it? Here's how you rise to the top. Well, what do we think it is? Well, let's go over what they think it is, okay? Here's the first one that they're saying. They say, the first thing that we need to do is strengthen our market knowledge. My thinking on this is, if you don't understand the market that you're in right now, that's kind of a given. I'm just assuming that you understand the market that you're in. I'm assuming that it makes sense to you. That's not what you do to get ahead. Understanding the market and having market knowledge, these are the prerequisites in order to be a loan officer or a real estate agent in the first place. This isn't something that we do to get ahead. This isn't something that we do to make us stand out. This is baseline shit. I mean, it really kind of is. Really being able to understand the market, understand the product, and understand how to allow your clients to have a seamless experience is paramount. He says, especially in New York, which is true. New York is the most ridiculous housing market in the country. There's a lot of reasons why lenders don't go to New York. It's because everyone in New York is insane. When you buy a house in the suburbs, you can close in 2 or 3 weeks. However, buying a co-op in Manhattan generally takes a minimum of 90 to 120 days. All right, well, he's given New York as an example. But, and I think really I think this really applies to loan officers more than it does to real estate agents, strengthening your market knowledge. And I'll tell you, unfortunately, for a lot of loan officers out there, they do need to understand and how to strengthen our market knowledge. Products are available right now that simply did not exist, 6 months ago, a year ago. In fact, on my show, The National Real Estate Post, if you watch it with any regularity, you'll know I was discussing a DSCR program. And that's an investment property program that is just looking at what the rents are relative to what the mortgage payment is. And I had so many people, I've had just a number of people reaching out to me today saying, what the hell is this program? I never heard about this. I'm like, you never heard about a DSCR program? This thing's been around now for over a year. If we're not looking at bank statement programs and a lot of these alt-doc deals that are going on right now, if we don't know about money that's available to us through down payment assistance program, through community reinvestment funds, things of this nature as a loan officer, we simply aren't doing our job. We are not, and I'll tell you what, not only are we not doing our job for our referral partner real estate agents out there, we're not doing our jobs for ourselves either. We're not doing our jobs for our clients. We are failing ourselves first and foremost. But again, I'm just going on the assumption here that strengthening your knowledge is that's baseline entry level shit that I'm assuming everybody understands. It's not how you get ahead. The second thing that they say here is to shore up your interpersonal skills. I love that. I love this. Shore up your interpersonal skills. Do you know what that's code for saying? Think about this. Do you know what that's code for saying? Shore up your interpersonal skills. Shore up my skills to be personable to you. What they're saying here is, this is a very nice way of saying, quit being an asshole. It is. Ken, shore up your international skills, your interpersonal skills. Oh my God! Again, these are Inman, which is a great source. This goes for loan officers and real estate agents alike. Is it's a great point. Don't be an asshole. It's a great point. As the marketing continues to move at a fevered pitch, Kellerin, Black, and Bizarro said agents must improve their interpersonal skills so they can create lifelong clients who feel connected to them on a business and personal level. I've been doing this for 21 years, they go on to say, and never in my career have I seen more people focus on the way that they live. That's why the market is moving so much, because they're either enhancing where they live, they're buying a second home, they're moving somewhere that resonates with a life that they want to live. Yeah, you kind of agree with that. I think this goes beyond being empathetic, but wouldn't you have to say, if you're in sales, the whole idea of being in sales is that you are personable, that you are relatable. That's the idea. Sales is in service of other people, and sales is the ability to persuade. It's hard to persuade people to do stuff if you're a jerk. So again, this is the second point that's being brought up from this Inman article on how to get ahead, to how to get more offers accepted in an ever-changing and more difficult market. And I mean, call me silly, but I kind of think that this is baseline stuff as well. All right, the third one is partner with other agents to get the job done. I'll tell you this. I don't agree with that necessarily. Certainly, if you have a partnership and it's going gangbusters for you, by all means. I mean, partnerships can be absolutely fantastic. But my thing is I'm always concerned that I'm going to be doing the bulk of the work, and my partner isn't necessarily going to be towing their own, yet they're going to be getting an equal amount of money or whatever it is. If you're having a partnership, you have to make sure that the income distribution represents the amount of work, energy, and whose database these deals that you're working together are coming from. Partnerships can be great because there's that whole buddy factor, the accountability factor, the workout partner type of thing. Like, I ain't going to get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to get my ass in shape, but if you're down there waiting for me at the gym, I'm not going to leave you hanging type of thing. It's the same thing with marketing. Sometimes marketing is easier when you're doing it with somebody else, especially if you're going to have like calling nights or things of that nature. Or you're doing. I'll tell you, first-time homebuyer seminars. I know it's old and outdated and antiquated. It's an analog way of doing business. But if you got 10 people to come to a first-time homebuyer seminar, you've turned one or two of them into a client. That's the best use of an hour of your time you'd ever have. But here's what I would say about partnering with another agent: is if you're a real estate agent, partner with a lender. If you're a lender, partner with real estate agents, plural. Have a harem of real estate agents. Here's the reason why, guys. Because a real estate agent and a lender, they have a symbiotic relationship, don't they? They really do. You guys are going after the same client, but you're not going after the same dollar. So there's no need to split money. In the event that money's being thrown on the table to get deals closed, it's going to be easier to stomach if it's not a split commission. So if you, by all means, go ahead and work with somebody else, partner with other agents. But I think the best bet is partner with a lender and then have a plan of attack on how to go about your business. And as a real estate agent, make sure that your lender has a plan of attack. Okay, yeah, let's work together. I want to give you my referrals. I want to know what you plan to do to make 2022 a lucrative endeavor for yourself and for the people you're working with. Let me know what you're going to do before I decide that I'm going to be all chips in with you. And if you have somebody who's really great with what their plan of attack is, by all means, go all chips in, but make sure they have that. And seriously, lenders, do the same thing. Don't work with every real estate agent that you can work with. I mean, there are 400,000 real estate agents who aren't going to close a transaction this year. There's 1.4 million agents now, more than ever. We talked about this yesterday. There's going to be 400,000 agents who don't do deals. And here's what I know about agents who don't do deals, or agents who do like a deal every third month, you know, the ones, the low producing agents. They're generally the highest maintenance agents too. So we have to understand who we're working with. I mean, work with people who share your passion to go ahead and try to find a way to get a bigger piece of a smaller pie, which is 2022. Again, spoke about this yesterday. We did $4 trillion in 2020. We did $4 trillion in 2021. We're going to do $2 trillion in 2022, literally chopping our production in the mortgage space in half. The other thing, though, when it comes to partnering with other agents to get the job done, I will tell you this, and this is a great point, a great point, is for lenders and real estate agents. If you're a lender and you are licensed in multiple states, go to those other states. Go find Facebook groups in other states that are real estate centric, and join and participate in those groups. If you're a real estate agent, what I would recommend is I would find the areas where people are moving to. Because it is true, I agree with them. It was at their last point. People are moving now and finding their place more so than they ever had, be it from COVID, be it from working remotely, be it from, frankly, all the shitty violence going on in so many of our major metro areas right now. People are moving. People are going to the burbs. People are leaving states, especially in my beloved state of California. People are running out of here, and you might find me doing the same thing too. People are moving. So find out what the destination locations for people in your community is. Like, everybody out here is going to Idaho now. There's like 5 cities in Idaho. Everybody wants to go to Idaho. It is the destination location for people in Northern California. Or people are actually going out to Reno and Carson City, Nevada, because they're doing a bunch of crazy stuff out there right now with a lot of technology from the Silicon Valley is moving over there because it's a puddle jump and it's right over the Sierra Nevada mountains. We all know the locations. Tennessee is a destination location state. Arizona is a destination location state. Texas is. Florida is. And where are people leaving? They're leaving the likes of California because of taxes and crazy politics. They're leaving, metro areas like Chicago. They're actually starting to leave metro areas like Seattle because they're getting priced out of the market there, and it's nuts there too. Portland, Oregon, the same way. New York has always been crazy. So if I was a real estate agent, what I would do is I would try to find strategic partnerships with other agents, not even necessarily with the same brokerage, other agents in other markets. Reach out to them, go to the Facebook group pages. Here's marching orders, and go out there and say, hi, my name is Brian Stevens. I'm a real estate agent in Vacaville, California, outside of the San Francisco Bay Area. We have a lot of people who are moving in and out of the Bay Area, and what I'd like to do is find a real estate agent in your market of Charlotte, North Carolina, of Boise, Idaho, of Austin, Texas, of Phoenix, Arizona. I'd like to do them all and say I'd like to connect with a real estate agent in this market who would be interested in a quid pro quo. When I have people moving to your market, I'd love to be able to refer business to somebody over there, with the understanding that if there's business coming back my way to the state of California, that it would be reciprocated. And agents will come out of the woodwork. Like, if you were to put that, if you're a real estate agent and you were to go to 10 markets today, the 10 top markets for you, whatever they are, you would have 10 agents reaching back out to you. Guess what? You just got a referral partner in 10 different states. And think about this. If you're an agent right now, wherever you're working, and I'm, tooling around, and I'm a part of a real estate agent Facebook group, and I see somebody from Austin, Texas that says, hey, I'd like to find somebody in the San Francisco Bay Area who wants to be a referral partner with me. Anyone who's moving to California, I'll refer that business over to you. Anyone who's coming down here to Texas, if you refer that business to me, this could be mutually beneficial. Is there any agent who would like to do that? If you saw that, you would be like the first one to instant message that agent back. I'll tell you this. If you did that, you would have 25 agents hitting you back on an instant message before the day's over. And truth be told, I would do this as a mortgage loan officer too. Find whatever state you're licensed in, do the same thing. Hey, I'm a licensed loan officer here in the state of California. I'm licensed. I'm a mortgage loan officer, and I'm licensed in. I would just say this state. I'm licensed in the state of Texas. I'm located in California. A lot of clients are moving out of California and they're moving down to Texas. I'd like to find a real estate agent who I can refer business to. And by the way, if you're a real estate agent and you have somebody who's moving to California, I'd like to be the lender of record for those who are moving to the state of California and who want to work with a local lender. Are there any real estate agents who'd be a taker on this? If you did that as a mortgage loan officer and you went to every market that you're licensed in, I guarantee, or even once you're not licensed in, I mean, shit, you're just going to refer this crap over to these agents, these clients over to your agents, these agents. You would have 10 agents in every market. Congratulations. Now you've got referral sources in multiple states. You've just created another vertical in your database. So in that sense, I think this would be good. And by the way, those are marching orders. Do this stuff, do it today. Why wouldn't you? It would take you 5 minutes and it costs you no money and there's only upside. There's no downside. If you do this, it's not like it's going to hurt your career. It's not like somebody's going to be like, what a jerk. That guy wants to create relationships that are going to be mutually beneficial to me and them. What an asshole. It's not going to happen. The only thing is nothing could happen, and that's not bad, because you only got 5 minutes invested and no money, or something good could happen, and that's great. The cool thing is you throw out more lines. The more lines you throw out, the more chance you have of catching fish. So I throw a line out in 10 states, 15 states, and then I go into my CRM and I pop these agents in there. Maybe I send them a message every other week. You know how people do like BNI and LaTip and shit like that? B2B marketing. This is a no-brainer form of B2B marketing that we can do right now. So again, I would, but that's just me. Okay, they also go on to say, learn to mix the old school tactics with the new school tactics. I kind of agree with that. And here's how I interpret that, is with old school tactics, do you remember when I went over that list I had from I did a show on this, a list from 1980. So Dave Stevens, the past president of the Mortgage Bankers Association and president of the FHA, he sent me an email. Oh, I can find it in my email. He sent me an email a few weeks ago. Said, hey, when I got into loans back in 70 something, he goes, in 1980, this was what I used to follow to focus my business. So he pulled out his list from 1980. Let's see. So, it's old school. And if you didn't see the show, I'll burn through this real quickly, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And this is the old school stuff. And what you do, here's the idea of the old school. You take the old school lessons and you brush them off, and you have a new school, a newfangled way of delivery. So number 10, role play. So I'm just going to read these to you real quickly and tell me what you guys think. And this, by the way, is back from 1980, from arguably the most successful person in the mortgage space over the past 40 years. He's done everything. Worked at HUD, was a VP over at Freddie Mac, ran FHA, FHA, he ran FHA, appointed position by President Obama. He was the president of the Mortgage Bankers Association that saw its largest growth over a 9-year period. I mean, the guy's done everything. Okay, so he sent this to me. So this is back from 1980. Listen to this. All right, number 10 is role play. In a world where prices are going to get tougher, sound familiar? This is 1980. A place where you likely won't win, sound familiar? Role play with your peers on selling the overall advantages of your company and working with you. Number 9, find 5 new contacts each day minimum. Let's go make new friends, people. Great idea. Number 8, be selfish with your time. Don't allow time wasting activities during your business day. Number 7, always follow up in writing. Every meeting or call deserves a note, and I still believe handwritten ones are better. Remember, this is 1980, but it is true still. Learn how to close for time. Winning may be simply closing the agent for some one-on-one time for you to show them that great idea. Closing for time is a prospecting tool that says if I can sell an agent on the need to meet with me for 15 to 20 minutes, closing on time, I'm one step closer to building and establishing a relationship. Agents, that's the same thing with prospective buyers and sellers. Get rejected. Go out each day with the goal of getting rejected by real estate agents, builders, or other referral targets. The more you get rejected, the more you learn. The more you get rejected, the tougher you get. The more you get rejected, the closer you get to a yes. Again, old school, but it makes perfect sense. Be enthusiastic. Pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you're a Debbie Downer, no one wants to work with a Debbie Downer, right? Practice sales skills daily. Good selling skills are about as effective communication. Understand how to make your products and services matter to the prospect and be able to communicate. That is a learned skill. Agree? Know more. Be an expert in your industry. No brainer. And number one is work harder. So yeah, that's old school. What's a great new school delivery system? Well, video would be great. Facebook would be great. You're seeing what you're looking at right now is I'm actually simulcasting this to multiple Facebook pages right now. And it's going to YouTube. And frankly, we're going to have this thing simulcast out to a half a dozen different sites. We are producing it right now, so I've got everything in front of you, so it's going to give a much more enriching experience. And then when we're done, we can go ahead and download this, clean it up, drop it on a blog, and send it out via text message or email to the databases that we've developed. So we are using our time right now on multiple levels. And this is a great way for people to get to know, like, and trust you with the hopes that you guys are getting to know, like, and trust me. As you can see, I got my phone number down there. So if there's anything that I can help you with, send me a text. That's my number. Send me a text and we'll reach out to you. The idea is to make connections. And that's why we do all this stuff, right? Makes perfect sense. Okay. Oh, and this is one of the quotes that I have about the struggle, because understand this is all a struggle. Happiness requires struggle. It grows from problems. Joy doesn't just, this is what I just sprout out of the ground. Like daisies and rainbows, real serious lifelong fulfillment, meaning have to be earned. Choose and manage our struggles. And I think that's kind of where I want to be. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I want to tell you, of course, because I do have folks that I absolutely love as well. Want to let you guys know that Oaktree is a great non-QM lender. They do 90% cash out refinances. FICO's down to 600. $4 million loan amounts. DTI is 55 full doc. You can have bank statements for 12 months. LTV up to 90. These are great. Cash out up to $1 million. $1 million. Great, great program offered over there. And want to let you guys also know that they also have a DSCR program. This is what I was speaking about earlier. 30-day late accepted, loan amounts up to $4 million, 2 to 4 units. Actually, they go all the way up to 8 units now. Loan to value up to 80%. And what you need to understand about these DSCR programs, my friends, is that the only thing you have to have is you have to have that property pencil. If your rents are 75% of whatever that mortgage payment is, the deal's done. The deal's done. Reach out to my friends over at Oaktree Funding. Oaktree Funding. These guys are great, and they will help you out with absolutely anything. With that said, hey, listen, it's a great Thursday. I am going to be in Reno this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if anybody is in the Reno area and like to hook up with me and a couple of folks from my team and chew the fat and talk shop and, on Sunday, watch some football and have a beer in a totally bitchin' penthouse suite that we got there, reach out to me, send me a message on the National Real Estate Post and Rep Facebook page, and we will get back with you, or send me a text with any other questions or comments, 707-330-1272. Sharing is caring. When you hit that share button, it helps me. And you know, I mean, come on. I'm trying to help you. You can reciprocate and help Brian back. With that said, you folks have a great day.